voiceover. Yes, there it is. Should we sing a song?
Okay. Don't expect to be in tune though.
Yes, you want her. Look at her, you know you do. It's possible she wants you to. There is one way to ask her.
I say it's not in my key, sorry.
One way to ask her. We're on.
Huh. Chris saying you're live. We got a message. Hello.
We were singing because it's not as instant as when Chris has got his funky setup. So we were just singing to fill the time. But hello and welcome to a bit of a stripped down DLP show because our friend Chris is had to isolate in his wing of Disney Street because
he's got the Rona.
He has. I don't want to hear this that people are getting it for a second time because I was kind of putting my fingers in my ears and pretending it wasn't happening, but people are getting it a second time, and Chris, most of his family's got it, so we're wishing him. Well, he's feeling a bit grotty, so he's not, but he's in the chat.
We are booked to go on a fabulous Walt Disney World holiday in 45 days, as you well know. And when we got the news that Chris had got the Rona for the second time, because he got it only about 3 weeks before we got it in October, I think. Hugh came downstairs and we had to have a serious chat, didn't we?
I stood by the kitchen door and I said, look, we have to be emotionally prepared, okay? And she said, don't stand over there. You have to come over here and comfort me as you tell me these things.
You have to put your hand on my cheek and prepare me for things. He didn't. He just stood there like announcing the end of the world.
We have to be prepared emotionally.
We do. Oh, God, it's dreadful.
I live in a permanent state of emotionally prepared. So,
I don't. I'm
if
an
it
optimist.
happens, I'll go, right, okay, let's have a look at what we do.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we do some news?
Let's.
This is the news. Bong!
After a break of 2 years, character dining has finally returned to Disneyland Paris.
Bong! Both annual passes and day tickets are subject to more price increases. Bong!
The National Geographic film Symphony for Our World debuted at the Studio Theatre for Earth Month.
Do we sound okay? Give me a thumbs up. I think we do. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not much news, but we will find something to talk about. We always do. We didn't mention we're on the wrong day of the week as well. So we're not on a Sunday. We're on a Monday. We don't have our friend Christopher here because he's poorly, and we don't have our usual backdrop because
I was putting my thumbs up then, not for Chris being poorly, but because people were putting thumbs up about the sound in the chat. It's not like, yeah, Chris is sick, yeah.
Good. Just so you know, this feels weird. This feels weird today. And we also only have 3 pieces of news. Yeah. So should we say hello to some people? I can see Magical by Sarah. Hello, Magical by Sarah. Let's start with this one. Hi there, Charlotte, Josh, Alex. What's Wonderlust? Hello, everybody. The Dunn family. Kelfie23 and Diogo.
Stacey's here.
Did I miss anyone? Hello, yes. Stacey.
John Parker's here.
Can't forget Stacey. Can't forget John Parker.
Have you said Kelfie? Yes.
Yes, I said Kelfie.
Mike. Just
it's a
Charlotte.
Party.
Have we got everyone? Alex.
It's a Monday night
Wanderlust?
party. Yeah. Right, let's talk about these character dining because it's available to book now. I went on the app and had a little look and a scout. It looks like it's pretty much booked up for all of April. Sorry to disappoint. But I made a little boob last time. What was it, a boob? They had just announced that character dining was coming back to Plaza Gardens, and I said it used to just be breakfast, so I imagine it will be again.
Hello, Lee.
Well, I am wrong. I was wrong. Because they are bringing it back for evening meal, which Hugh calls dinner. I call tea. We have a constant debate on this now.
Well, stubborn Yorkshire thing that, we think we're better than everyone else and we can call it our own thing and that lunch is dinner. It's ridiculous. Come on, we need to standardise this across the nation. It's lunch and dinner.
Then why are they called dinner?
That's the excuse people always use. Doesn't matter. Why is it called a cup of tea then? When you're having tea, are you having a cup of tea? If you're gonna be like that.
Okay. There's a thing where British people actually have, I can't remember how many more words for meals than other English, like Australia and America, because we've got brunch and 11s and supper and tea time and all these extra things that other English speaking nations just don't use. Interesting. However, Disneyland Paris only has breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Better.
And you can now have your evening meal with characters, and it's the Fab Five at Plaza Gardens. It's €69 for adults, it's €36 for children. So obviously the price has gone up considerably. The buffet is apparently the same buffet, but obviously the characters is where the price is coming from, because dinner and a show, you know. Now, it does make sense given that they've officially announced the end of Cafe Mickey. And the Disneyland Hotel, where we used to have Inventions, is currently closed. My concern was this then cuts down a pretty standard, a staple of the standard dining plan, doesn't it? That cuts it down a lot. So in the main park, you've only now got Agrabah, haven't you? Unless you take a dip in your price and go to Lucky Nugget and stuff. You've still got the hotel ones, and you've got Billy Bob's in the Village.
Agrabah?
Cafe Agrabah. You loved it.
Do they do meet and greets there?
No. For the dining plan.
Oh.
Now that this has gone to premium pricing.
Okay.
But lunch is still no characters, standard price. I presume that'll still be on the standard dining plan. But your evening meal, there's one less option there. But I think this is a good thing, because I think they've been lacking character dining in the parks anyway. You have your princess one, but that's not for everyone. And then to go anywhere else, you have to go out of the parks and go into the hotels. So this is good. This is good. Auberge is open as usual, slightly adapted menu, but it's still a fixed price menu, and it's still got your French cuisine.
Yeah.
We had a rather attractive chocolate shoe there, didn't we? Not a shoe pastry.
A white chocolate shoe.
An actual Cinderella
on a blue
slipper
thing.
Well, that's gone, because that was for the 25th anniversary, and I have seen that they've got a new 30th anniversary that's kind of in a glass.
Is it iridescent?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
I've been doing some iridescent Frozen designs today.
Oh.
Greeting cards, that is.
Very good. Right. So, annual passes have gone up. Now then, I think they've gone up €40 each. I have a list here, which I will just grab for you. So, your Discovery is now $229 or $289 if you want to add parking. Your Magic Flex is now, this is euros, by the way.
So Discovery's gone up €20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic Flex is now $319, and that's gone up €20. Magic Plus, which is what we have, is now €369. That's gone up €40. And Infinity is now $499. That's gone up €20. It is not long since they increased the price before. I can't remember, but I think it was in the gap between us buying it, which was August, and Christmas. And so it's only a few months. But
yeah.
Chapek did an interview recently.
Chapek. Just surnamed him.
People were asking about price increases, and he says it's supply and demand. There is increased demand, and so we increase supply, or they make it more expensive.
What's so drastically changed in the last few years that there's so much more demand and the prices are just getting cranked up that much? Like I don't mean in the last 2 years, but I mean. It's constant, isn't it, at the moment? People are getting priced out left, right, and centre.
Thing is, they're on a knife edge because cost of living is going up as well. So they'll be basing the decisions to increase prices on trends over since they reopened. But I think trends are going to change drastically in the next year as the cost of living goes up anyway. But what can you do? The undated ticket prices have also gone up. So these are just one park per day or 2 park per day, and the single day tickets. That doesn't apply to many people in the UK, because generally we get the multi-day tickets. But the one park per day for an adult has gone up to €105, so that's gone up €6. And the 2 parks per day, the park hopper basically, has gone up €130. That's no, it's not
to
gone
130.
Up, to 130. So that's gone up €11. Bums. I'm just interested.
I mean, a price increase is never going to be welcome news, is it?
No.
You know, if it was €2, we'd go, oh, well, okay, €2, I can handle that.
So we've got 1 park per day.
Not 40.
And park hoppers. Can you imagine buying the 1 park per day ticket, but buying it for the studios? Is that something people do you think?
What if you did that by mistake?
I don't think you actually stipulate the park. I think that it's the first park you use it in. And then if you don't have a hopper, you can't go. What if you didn't realise you hadn't got a hopper ticket, started your day at the studios, and then went, I'm done here. And then that was it, you were done. Can you imagine? Kieran Forrest bought his on Saturday. Do you mean your annual pass, Kieran? Which one did you buy? And well done.
He might not want to tell us.
Oh no, he might not. What?
If you want to tell us, you can tell us which type you bought.
He just won't reply if that's the case. Yes, they do, said Patrick. Oh, you work in ticketing, don't you, Patrick? Do they do that by accident? Oh.
Yes, they do. What?
Buy the ticket and then go into...
Oh, go in there by mistake.
Not park hopper ones and
yeah.
then spend an hour in studios.
I always say this, but it happened to my friend Joseph. He went with his girlfriend and they started in studios, which is a weird choice, isn't it? And he thought, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
It will be soon, though. It will be soon. Come the summer,
but
it's going to be an absolute riot.
Could you imagine that in 2018, though?
Yeah. Good point.
Going, oh, is this it?
The Dunn family got Katie's just before the price increase as well. It is what it is. I'm glad we've got ours for the next year.
Yeah, if we get to use it. We've got some shout-outs. I'm going to mix them in amongst.
You do.
Chris has compiled this via our Patreon, so thanks to Chris, but I'm sifting through it. So Mike Suffield, who's joined us, would as a pal, would like a shout-out from the French Captain America. Now, the French Captain America, he had a strange accent. There's definitely some French in there, but he was attempting some kind of American accent, wasn't he? He said, what was it he said? I would never do that. That's what he said, isn't it? So Captain America, French Captain America would say...
He was very good.
He looked the part.
And he did
have
good English
hey,
to say clearly it wasn't his first language.
There's nothing wrong with him having a French accent in Paris, is there?
Yes, exactly.
But it was, you're maybe not prepared for it when you see Captain America to go, I would never do that. So he would say, Mike Suffield, thank you so much for joining us and becoming a pal. You did do that, and we like you for it. Thank you. I'm getting more French.
Yeah.
And then a salute. Let's do another one, because that was terrible. Kiva says she would like Hugh to give a shout out as Roz from Monsters Inc. So what would Roz say? She'd say, oh God, this might take some warming up. Always watching. Kiva, thanks for always listening.
I heard that come up from your diaphragm.
It wasn't. It was all in the throat.
Always watching.
So thanks, Kiva. There'll be more of those later, unfortunately.
Oh, Patrick says then they have to queue for an hour to pay the difference to upgrade to a hopper. Fail! Oh no.
Do you know what though? It's not simple, is it? It's not a simple trip, and it's worse at Disney World. Like, I've seen a discussion about that on Twitter today about people saying they described going to the Friends, and then the Friends going, oh, but you can't just turn up, can you? You have to plan months in advance, don't you? And that's just the feeling that people know there's a lot of planning involved. I mean, it's not really a holiday, is it? It's an experience and a trip. It's not a holiday in the sort of in the old-fashioned sense of going for a relax. We could just relax in your resort, couldn't you? Many people do, but it's pretty intense. And
it amazes me how people don't, though. I know I had a friend who went to Disneyland Paris, and I found out she was going, so I sat next to her at a party and was like, "Oh, I hear you're going to Disneyland Paris. What hotel are you staying at?" "Oh, I can't remember. Oh, okay. Have you booked any restaurants?" oh no, no. Oh, have you heard about this ride, that ride? And she didn't know anything, and she was going like 3 days later. And I was like, oh, you...
I'm a bit like that, though. I like to just turn up and you just see what happens.
Yes, but you have me.
Yeah, but
pulling the strings.
Maybe wouldn't do it at Disney World, though, or Disneyland Paris. Well, you can't. You can't just turn up, can you?
Disneyland Paris, I really feel like we can just kind of wing it now completely. We couldn't the first couple of times we went, we needed to know. Disney World's just a write-off. It's hard work. It's intense work. Speaking of Disney World,
yeah,
we kind of had a little trip update about our trip this time today, didn't we?
I've forgotten what it was. There's so many updates.
They've announced.
You give me them hourly.
I know. They've announced the opening day for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's right.
Not Mission Breakout.
Was it 27th of May?
27th of May, and we are there.
Is that right? Yeah.
And
we're there.
we have an Epcot park reservation for that day. Now, I'm wondering, chat, do you think that is a good thing or a bad thing? Do you think it will be a 7-hour wait? We won't want to go on it, but the park will be rammed.
We need to go to Epcot.
We will see lots of vloggers, though, won't we?
We need to go to Epcot a couple of times before the 27th.
Yes, to get all the fun stuff
just in case
done.
it's crazy busy.
On the other hand,
it should be a good thing, but I'm just thinking, oh no, it'll be dead busy just for this one ride.
On the other hand, they are doing DVC previews in the fortnight running up to it. Ooh. Not on every day, on like certain days there's DVC previews.
Does this include resale scum like us?
I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna have to find out. That's what I was trying to look at when you were setting that up.
I'm sure certain things they don't check that.
Well,
am I right in thinking
I know you've got to have a valid hotel reservation and be using DVC points and be a DVC member. Yeah. Now, I don't know about the resale, but we tick all the other boxes.
Yeah. We'll just hold Bonnie up and get to batter eyelids.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bonnie, because a lot of families tune in, I want to do a public service announcement because the Kinder Egg, you've probably heard, I've had to recall a load of Kinder Eggs because of some cases of salmonella. And I saw, my dad sent me a message about it, and then I saw it on the news, and I thought, well, that's all right. We rarely have them. Went through a phase of having them. But then today, Bonnie came on with the Kinder toy and said, I've had a Kinder Egg, look at the toy I got. And I was going, where's the wrapper? So it's between the... Which way round is it?
Huey.
It's between the 11th of July and the 7th of October.
Huey.
What?
I think you've been April Fooled, you know. Because a Kinder Egg can't have salmonella. It's not a real egg.
Lucy. It's not an April Fool. It's not an April Fool, is it? Tell her, people. She doesn't trust me.
How can a Kinder Egg have salmonella?
Well, there'll be some egg somewhere in the recipe. I'm not an idiot. It was on the news today.
Was it?
Yes.
The actual news?
Yes.
Not on your
so look,
Twitter feed?
Check your rappers. Check the news because it's between the... I think it's the 11th of July and 7th of October is the best before date. Get a refund.
Well, the
Dunn Family States is triple pack. It's also the single ones. There you go. It's not an April Fool.
It's not an April Fool. Okay.
I thought you were interrupting me to say, Hugh, who cares? This is a Disney show.
Oh, well, there's that as well.
But it's, it's a family show.
People are saying everyone will be in that 7-hour queue and there'll be short queues for all the other rides.
True, it would suck.
That could be the day that we do the Snacking Round World Showcase thing because it's the opposite end of the park, isn't it?
Would it be better to do it on a different day?
We do want to go on that, yeah. We do want to go on that ride though, don't we? Well, you do. It might be a baby swap situation.
Do I? Well, yeah, I do, but yeah, if we can get on within an hour...
Well,
it's my cut-off is an hour now. It used to be 40 minutes, but now it's going to be an hour. I
suspect they'll have some kind of virtual queuing operation, to be honest. I don't think they want people standing in 7-hour queues anymore. They know you're not buying snacks, don't they?
Yeah.
They've worked it out.
Look, all these salmonella reports.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I didn't think they were just chicken eggs with a toy in them.
It just sounded dodgy. Okay.
More news.
Okay. Sorry, I was still reading about Kinder eggs. There's not much. They've taken Minnie out of the Studio Theatre for her meet and greet, where she was all in a pantsuit being our business lady, because that was for International Women's Month. And now we've got Earth Month, so we have a National Geographic film, Symphony for Our World. Now, this is the kind of thing, if we were there on a multi-day trip, if we were there for 5 days and it was very, very hot weather, I would recommend going in the air conditioning and watching some nice, pretty National Geographic images for 20 minutes. I'm not sure I could see myself doing it in other circumstances in Disney. Now, the thing is, we're both...
You wouldn't do it in like a February, would you? Cold February. Oh, we keep,
no,
keep warm.
You'd get warm,
Keep warm. Okay, what's the exact in between?
April.
March and April.
Yeah.
He wouldn't bother.
Basically. But we're both dead into that kind of thing. We put them on at home, don't we? Just kind of National Geographic, pretty picture things.
Yeah.
But
on Disney Plus, I tried to watch something about comets on the National Geographic section of Disney Plus, and a lot of documentaries now, as soon as it starts, it goes dun, 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 dun. It's like, this is a comet, dun, 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 dun. And I just turned it off. I can't stand that. It's incessant. It's all the way through. I just like old-fashioned documentaries where just someone calmly telling me what's happening and not cinematic music. I'm not an idiot. I don't need that to be stimulated. The facts alone should stand.
Who would be your favourite voiceover voice for a nature documentary?
Pee Wee Herman.
No, you just said calmly telling you what's going on. You can't have Pee Wee Herman calmly tell you anything.
Sometimes he talks calm, and then other times he goes like that. You know?
But sometimes he's like, oh no, the apes are pulling apart
The other apes! Because he's got the bananas!
Yeah, that sounds like a really good nature thing. Right, okay, Hugh, what else you got?
What are the shout-outs? We've also got a trip report or two. But the Dodds say they've had a family discussion and they would like a shout-out in the form of Lightning McQueen, which I can't do, but I can say wow. So I'm going to say, wow, the Dodds, thanks so much for joining. Wow.
Who's that? Owen Wilson?
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
You had to ask?
No, I did know that. I couldn't remember what the actor's name was, but I think that was quite good.
Wow, just do that. That's your way in, but I can't do the rest. They've also got a question, which I'm not sure we can answer, so maybe you can help us out, guys. They've purchased annual passes for the first time, and they head out to DLP next week. They've received their temporary passes in the post already. What they're wondering is, will these temporary passes give them access to the parks, or will they have to collect the official ones first?
The reason I don't know the answer to this is because the annual pass office used to be inside the park. So yes, it did. Yeah. And you would use your temporary pass and then you would go into the park. But now it's outside the studios and I don't know. But maybe if Patrick's still in the chat, he can help you out. Will that temporary pass get them into the park?
There you go, straight away. So
first day, yes. Boom.
First day, yes.
Thank you, Patrick.
But so then they have to go to the ticket office, do they?
At some point, they'll have to go and get it changed and photos taken and turned into a shiny card.
Yeah.
Presumably at some point in your first day.
But not at the lovely old AP building.
No. I liked going in there. It was exciting. Right.
So we managed to answer that question. Well done, us.
Yeah.
Anything else from... we've got another...
We're going to save that trip report for next week, I think.
Yeah. Well, Jade's joined. She's not sent a request for a shout-out.
Well, we have a question in the chat. It's, Lucy, can you do accents? And the answer is no. That was easy. No.
Well, neither can I. Don't stop me, though, does it? Yeah. By the way, I will say...
I embarrass myself and I appear to be kind of quite racially ignorant when I do it as well, and that's not my intention. It's just every accent ends up being a rather patronising Welsh accent, so I don't do it.
Chris has also added to this bump. He says, if you're interested in becoming a Disney Street pal, head over to Patreon, where we're starting our weekly after party after the DLP shows. We're going to do that. We were going to do it this week, but Chris is ill, and we've got a special timer and everything for it. So it's just going to be a short extra show. Anything else you say on that? Yeah, details are in the description of the show. It costs £3 a month, and every penny is put back into the show. Very keen to stress that we're not. This isn't turning into a job for us. We're not. You're not paying anything towards our trips, anything like that.
Nope.
It goes into equipment and running of the show.
And we'll show you what we'll buy. We'll go if when we use our Patreon money, we go, look, we've got a new microphone, and you did this. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting us.
Yeah.
So that's fab.
Yep. Just I like to make that clear.
Yeah.
That we're not sort of buying tiki cups and tiaras and swinging off to Disney World every 5 minutes. We're not. We scrimp and scrape with our day jobs for that. Thank you very much.
We do indeed. Does anyone have any questions for us then? Because there's only 2 of us this time, and we will answer anything. It doesn't have to be Disneyland Paris if you don't want. We'll do Disney Plus. We will do just Disney anything, really.
Shall I read this trip report out while we're waiting for those?
We'll let Chris do it next week, because it's a friend of his, I think.
Oh, okay. It's Lucas's girlfriend's mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas, who's 8.
That's right.
Player.
Chris mentioned Nicolas Cage earlier, and I thought, that's a strange thing to say, Chris, but they have forgot. Lucy used to do a Nicolas Cage voice on the show, which we now impersonate her doing. So, like, third hand, it's
I think I
Nicolas Cage. That's what she does.
I attempted to do it. On one of the classic shows, and I went, Nicolas Cage. And that's the thing.
What is that?
I don't know. It's like... Any closer to the Loungefly? Thank you so much for asking. I am now £3 away from the Loungefly.
That's not £3 in Patreon money.
For anyone who's asking,
she's losing weight.
I bought an Encanto Loungefly, and then I gave it to my very responsible friend, and I said, you cannot give me that back.
She's a solicitor.
Until that makes her responsible. She's put it in a safety deposit box in a castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She once shouted at me because I spent my day at work at Chester Zoo taking photographs, and she said, my job is BS. Because
bat saliva.
But I've got a very skilled job. I don't want people to think I'm very, very defensive today. I don't want people to think I'm just
I was telling them about my weight loss journey.
Sorry.
So I've given my Loungefly to my friend, and I said, do not give me it back until I weigh 64 kilograms. I'm sharing with you, which is what I weighed pre-pandemic, basically, and then I put a 30 stone on. So I've been dieting and being fairly good, except for this box of chocolates that's currently sitting in front of me.
That was full today.
In a perfectly symmetrical position, because I can't eat chocolates any other way. And I am now £3 away from going and collecting my Loungefly.
£4 looking at this box of chocolates.
I know. Well, this is a treat, though. This is an exception, because I had an event last night, and I got a lovely bunch of flowers and a box of chocolates as a thank you for organising this big event. And so I thought, I worked really hard on that. I'm going to sit and eat my chocolate because I deserve it.
Deserved
chocolate.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right.
What else?
I don't know. Charlotte's asked something. Oh, Charlotte, not a full trip report, but I was at DLP last week and wanted to say for anyone going, for the 30th, make sure you watch Dream and Shine Brighter. Caught the end of it when we first got into the park, which was so magical, especially because one of my friends had never visited to DLP before. What a welcome. We then watched it another 3 times. It's one of those songs that makes you dance down Main Street. That's excited me. I think it's got a similar format to the Pirates and Princess format, in that they go on the stages in the middle of the hub, don't they? So Pirates and Princesses one, and we loved that, didn't we? That was possibly my favourite kind of not in a theatre show that they've done. I'll say as well, there's something about there being live entertainment on as soon as you get in the park, because I told this story many times as well. When we went at Christmas, when Bonnie was 3, we walked in as the Christmas parade was going by. And you know, they let people go across the road to a certain point and then they stop you. They stopped just as we got there. So we got like this really good front row seat, as it were, as the Christmas parade went past. We'd been in the park about 45 seconds. And then Tinkerbell was waving at Bonnie and making hugging notions, and it was like we just stepped into a dream, an actual dream. It makes me sob to think about it. It was amazing. So for that to be your friend's first ever experience going in, and there being live entertainment and parades going, we love Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
Go on.
Two things. Chris is going.
Bye, Chris.
This report from Laura, Lucas's girlfriend's mum, has got some good tips in, so tune in for that next week. We'll get into that. Maybe that was the two things, I think. We've also got a question from Kerry.
Yes.
Heading over to in June with my wife and 2-year-old son, who have never been before. Any tips to make the first trip as magical as possible? She doesn't think she'll like it.
Oh, well, she will. You see, I can say that with confidence. I don't know your wife, Kerry, but it just... It gets people. It gets people to Disneyland
I think people
Paris.
have an idea of what it is, and it isn't. It's a bit more sophisticated than that. And it's enjoyable. I think she'll like it. But
okay.
So any tips to make it as magical as possible?
Now
this
was the same age that Bonnie was when we first took her, so we can kind of look back on that.
Yeah.
Now, my advice right now would be to book a character meal, and we've just talked at the beginning of the show. You've now got 2 to choose from. There's Plaza Gardens for the Fab Five, or there's Auberge for the princesses. Either one. But the wonderful thing is about him being 2 is he can eat off your plate. So it's actually a cheaper way of doing it than us taking our daughter now. So, and they're so good. You might think it'd go over the heads, but it really won't. They're so good with the little ones in the age group, and they understand how to talk to them, how much they can do. They kneel down. They take a lot of time to sort of be patient and approach them gently. I know there's going to be toddlers who find the fur characters a little overwhelming, but the characters themselves are just so amazing at doing that. So that would be my first tip, to make it as magical as possible. I would say make sure you do Disney Studio D. It's changed.
Yes.
It used to be Disney
and
Junior.
Stitch Live. Is Stitch Live still going?
I think so.
It's people knock it. I think it's great. It's fun.
It is.
It's like it's a live Stitch interaction.
Yeah,
with the audience.
All the kids get to sit at the front, and they do get the microphone and ask the kids questions. They never ask the teeny tiny ones. I think they know they're not going to get it. But it's just nice for them to have, like, presumably he goes to nursery and they have carpet time. It's kind of, they're treated a bit like that, so all the kids are cross-legged at the front, and I think kids are comfortable with that. And it's just lovely for the parents to sit back and watch them interact together, and then there's Stitch on the screen. That's really good.
Yeah.
Got a girlfriend.
And for you two, Kerry and your wife, I would make sure you use parent swap. So tell them at the ride entrance, because you'll want to ride things that your son doesn't. But also he'll be asleep in the pushchair for a good portion of the day, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Part of making it magical is making it magical for yourselves as well, and using your child to do that.
Yeah.
Which is So one of your cues for the ride. Get the baby pass. You probably know this already. You get a ticket at the end of the ride, don't you? You say, "Can I have a baby swap ticket?"
I would always ask at the ride entrance, because they're a little bit inconsistent. We've done it both ways, and we've been given it at the end, and we've had to go back. And
True.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Because they do it different ways. But yeah, you can take it in turns to ride, so you don't both have to queue. And yeah. Oh, bubbles. I mean, actual bubbles. We bought Bonnie in fact, it's over there. Huey, can you grab it?
It won't work.
No, I'm not going to turn it on. But just as souvenirs goes, this might be just one personal thing, but as one of the souvenirs we bought at the time was I bought Bonnie that on Main Street, and then
this is to describe it for the listeners. It's a what is it?
It's a bubble blower.
It's a blower.
Mickey-shaped bubble blower.
It's still got some.
I think it might actually work, but it makes a lot of noise. Oh, look. Is it going to blow any bubbles?
I don't think the bubbles were blowing last time I turned it on.
But it is several years old now. The bubbles come out at the top, and it was, when you're like, oh, shall I spend this money on this plastic toy? And it really made that trip. We were doing it all up and down Main Street. She loved it.
It's when you bought her it. She said she sort of took it off you, and she didn't believe it was for her, and she said, is that for me? She said something like that, like, can I keep this? And that was really
She
sweet.
was so humble about it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kerry, you don't need help to make it magical. You'll walk under the train station, you'll hear the Main Street music, and you'll see the castle, and it will be magical. But those are our extra tips for having that age toddlers, aren't they? And watch the parade. Oh, I tell you what,
the real
as well.
challenge is making it magical for wife who doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Who's not convinced.
Another thing is watch the parade. Make sure you get a spot nice and early so the little one can get quite to the front. But interact with the parade. Shout the names, wave at them, point at them, gesture to them, because they'll see you and they'll interact and they'll gesture back. And I think a lot of people will sit there, hands in the lap, and go, oh, this is nice. And you won't get the same level of interaction out of the characters that are dancing by as the ones who are as people who are, it's a bit of give and take situation. And I do jump up and down like an absolute fangirl, don't I? Mm-hmm. Like a teenager at a Beatles concert.
Kelfie's going back in August after 11 years.
Oh.
You've been walking around saying things like, it's a lot smaller than I remember. Things like that when you go back somewhere.
She's staying at Village Nature as well as Kerry. In that case, I've got another tip.
Have you
rent the Jeep?
Watch our videos.
Oh yeah, we've done a vlog of Village Nature.
Yeah.
In fact, no, don't rent a Jeep because Peter was 2, but he had Bonnie driving, didn't he?
Yeah, and you had to use the little stopper to stop him occasionally and go into the wall. There is a playlist on this channel about. Is it like it's called? I'll find what it's called, but because I sometimes make videos, but they're not uploaded to here, they're on my other account. But they are in a playlist on our channel, and the playlist is called. Come back to me. No, Disney Trip Reports. Disney Trip Reports, the playlist, and it's got a lot of old videos of mine. Which
Kerry's already watched them twice over.
There you go. But yeah, some of the newer ones are a bit more information and vloggy, whereas some of the early ones we did were a bit kind of more just home movie type family videos. But yeah, they get a bit more interesting as you go along. Yeah, there you go. John, we haven't watched Moon Knight yet. We're going to. I'm an old Marvel buff from when I was a teenager. I collected Marvel, and I don't know anything about Moon Knight at all. I didn't have any of the comics. Don't think I've got a single appearance of him in another comic, nothing like that. I did have a bunch of Morbius comics, but I'm not bothered about seeing that.
That's got absolutely slammed, hasn't it? But it's not officially Disney, I don't believe.
Well, it's Sony. It's a Sony one, so in the same school as the Spider-Man ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Moon Knight. I take it you've seen it, John. But we'll see. Maybe we'll watch it tonight.
Do we know if Mickey and the Magician is still on or coming back? I don't recall it coming back because we usually put it in the news when it does, and I don't recall reading that out. Having said that, it is seasonal and it would normally be on for high season through the summer. I wonder if Patrick can tell us. Patrick's our resident expert now, isn't he?
He also confirmed that Stitch is still going.
Yes. I thought it was. I was surprised when you said, "Is it still going?" I thought, hope so. Right.
Is that all the news?
That's all the news. There wasn't a lot. What should we talk about, Huey? Is there anything in there?
For the last 10 minutes or so. Well, let's see what we've got in the chat. There's plenty of questions, isn't there? Saying that. Dunn Family says, get a spot behind a bin. I like to get a spot next to a bin because... Well, behind a bin's good because there's no one's really going to go in front of it. And it's also... Are they close to the curb so they can't actually go beyond the bin?
No, they won't go in front of the bin.
Because you're not allowed to go in front of the bin onto the road. I like to go next to a bin so there's no one next to me, at least on one side. This thing about parades, you've got to be smart with your spot picking.
Oh, do you know what, Kerry? My tip, given that you've got a 2-year-old, you'll probably have a pushchair, is we used to have a picnic blanket folded in the bottom of the pushchair, and we would get it out and put it down and sit on it. And there's something about that really marks your spot, and people just tend not to then... other people know that's your spot, whereas if you don't do that, then it's a free-for-all, isn't it, on the tarmac? And I did actually scooch over and let 2 of the children sit on our picnic blanket with us because, I mean, see the magic, be the magic, you know what I always say. And I just thought it's better to let them and to control the situation and to, you know, enjoy it with them than to have them elbow and push you and things. So I would take a little picnic blanket with you if I was you.
Patrick and Magical by Sarah confirm that it will be back.
Late April.
The Magician Show. Mickey the Magician. Was it called Mickey the Magician? Mickey and the Magician.
Yeah.
April 23rd. Yeah. We saw The Lion King last week, and I've said before I've seen both the films, and I've seen there's a bit of it in Mickey and the Magician. We saw a show of it. We've seen 2 other shows of different versions of it, haven't we?
There's one in Disney World that's
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
Legends of the Lion King.
It's a more sort of acrobatic one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we saw like a stripped down version of it in studios. So I felt like I'd seen it, but I hadn't seen it because I really enjoyed it.
It's very
The Lion King show. And our friend Carl is
Pumbaa.
So yeah, and he was excellent.
Yes,
excellent.
He was. It's actually the 3rd time I've seen that. I think
I'd see it again.
Yeah.
I would see it again.
Well, I have done. To go see it 3 times. I wasn't sure about you because it's never been your favourite genre of music. It's never been your favourite film, particularly.
It's not a film that I go to, but and actually watching that show is the best version of it. I'd happily watch that again than watch the film, I think.
Mark, we're actually talking about Lion King the musical that's touring the UK at the moment. We're not talking about the one in the parks. It says to reserve seats for Lion King.
What did we do when we saw The Lion King at the parks? It was a long time ago, wasn't it? It was about 3 years ago.
We didn't see it at the Frontierland Theatre. We went to see it in the studios because what they were doing at the time was they were doing a live feed from the Frontierland Theatre into the studios.
I felt like the show was there, but it was on a screen, wasn't it?
And if they do that again, I would recommend that because it was only half full because I don't think everyone realised they were doing it. Of course, everyone wants to see it live. And it was just like being there live almost.
I remember that show as if we saw it like in person, not on a screen.
It's a massive screen.
Yeah. But I say that about 3D films. I don't remember seeing a film in 3D at the cinema. I don't remember the feeling of the 3D other than if I made a point of going, the 3D was good. And then if I remember that feeling, but you don't remember it in 3D, do you? Do you know what I mean? When you've been to the cinema. So
they are having a chat about the reserving seats to see the Lion King show in the Frontierland Theatre that I still want to call Chaparral Theatre. Actually, in this trip report that we're not reading out, that we're teasing you for next week, I do believe that she did reserve tickets and then regretted it because she realised how big the theatre was.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she'd paid for it. Now, it does save you having to queue, I think, but you still have to queue a certain amount of time.
What show was it at the Chaparral? Was it the Frozen one? Or was it the Lion King one that the queue was so big that it got to a point and
where they were queuing for the one after.
Said this is for the one after this one, and we just bailed.
It was the Lion King one last time,
and
I think.
That's the same time we went to watch it over at Hollywood Studios.
Having said that,
it's like a hack. It's worth
having
doing.
said that, when it was Forest of Enchantment, which is the best show they've done up there, they need to bring that back. It was amazing.
Yes, Kelfi, it's the old Tarzan show stage that we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, oh, that was a brilliant show as well because they did the percussion and they did the aerials. That was also very good. We queued for that and
What's the plans for that place at the moment? Because it's a good little venue, isn't it? It's like we haven't seen anything there for so long that I kind of forget about that whole area.
The celebration of the Lion King show.
Oh yeah. I'm not with it. It's because we watched it in studios.
Yeah, we're all back to front with where that one actually exists. It's good. I like African music and African inspired music, and it's very moving. I don't think it's the best use of that theatre. If you know the Tarzan one that they're talking about, that was just phenomenal.
Swinging from the rafters, they were.
Oh, literally.
Swinging from the rafters.
And then the Forest of Enchantment one was, they had a lot of gymnasts in there doing all sorts of...
And Frozen was just Frozen on stage, wasn't it?
That was a sing-along. That was just standard. Get the kids enjoying themselves, basically.
And there was a VIP area. We didn't know this, did we? But Bonnie was dressed as Anna, wasn't she? So we got let into this VIP area.
Yeah, there were any girls who were...
For princesses.
And I think boys who were dressed as Kristoff as well, they were just scooping them up and putting them in this VIP area. It was actually lovely.
Got a good question from the Dunn family. Where did that peg come from? We've always got pegs knocking around because we've put our Small World blanket up behind us. So there's always pegs knocking around that fall off.
I'm a fidgeter. I'm an absolute terrible busy finger thing. That's why I'm always knitting and crocheting and stuff like that. I get busy hands. And then if I've nothing to do with them, I find pegs to play with. Listeners may have heard that peg. I'm sorry. Chris will be going crazy when he comes to upload this tomorrow.
He doesn't have to upload it, does he? It's streaming.
Well, no, he has to upload it for the podcast.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
She's resting up. Yeah. Anything else? Because we're about to go, aren't we? It's a short one today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vamp until 20 past to see if anyone comes up with a really, really juicy question.
If there's any questions that we missed earlier, if you want to repeat them, you can do. We haven't ignored any. We just missed them. Unless it's what's your problem, then we ignored that.
I want to chat and ask about something to people because you can give feedback.
So I want to say, Wits Wanderlust said Moon Knight was raw. I'm not even sure what that means, but I'm excited. It was raw.
Raw as in like...
R-A-W as in like raw chicken.
Oh. Okay, not raw. Here we go. This is what I was going to say. We go to Disney World in 45 days and I vlogged the last time I went to Disneyland Paris. We've done a couple of other videos when we've gone places and done things and we're really enjoying the vlogging. Now, we are not vloggers and I don't ever want to kind of say that we are or sell ourselves in that way. We are basically podcasters and then I like to do my little advice videos. But we know that you do enjoy the content and we kind of enjoy doing it. However, when I went to Paris last time, I did a This Is Our Day vlog. So from getting up in the morning to a point where I kind of ran out of steam, usually sort of mid-afternoon, and then I'd finish the vlog off. But it is surprisingly difficult to do because you have to get a narrative going through the day. And if you don't look at the camera every sort of 20 minutes, you can't tell people what you're doing. So I was wanting to kind of do it a different way when we went to Disney World because I don't want it to ruin our family holiday, our time that we spend as a family, which we treasure and that's why we go. So I was thinking I might kind of pick a different subject every day, kind of if we were snacking around the world, we would just be filming the snacks and what we thought of the snacks and things like that. We would do our hotel tours, these kind of things. But I wondered if anyone had ideas of what they would like to see from us when we got back, what kind of content you'd like to be seeing, what you enjoy us doing and things like that, what you've seen before that you were like, that was good. I hope they do that when they go to Disney World, just so that we know that we're spending our time in front of the camera wisely. And I don't want you to think we don't enjoy doing that because we do. It's just, I suppose it's a work-life balance thing, isn't it? We want to be able to enjoy each other and Disney at the same time. So if anyone's got any thoughts on that, I bought a new vlogging camera yesterday. Not with the Patreon money, I will just point out. This was a Lucy purchase. So I've got one of those teeny tiny little ones on a little pencil stick like that. So it'll fit in my pocket easier.
Yeah, we don't make enough Patreon money to buy video cameras. John's asking predictions on Avengers Campus opening date, to which people are speculating. Well, Mark's saying his money is on June.
Yeah.
Mark's a new subscriber. Thanks, Mark. And Lee's saying he hopes it's the beginning of June. I haven't got Scooby-Doo.
This is one of those things we could probably ask Patrick, but I bet he couldn't tell us.
Come on, Patrick.
He couldn't tell
Give us the skinny.
Even if he did know. I did a thing a couple of months ago where I went back and I looked through like dates of different things that had opened, not just in Paris, but like all Disney parks, see if there was a trend. And there is a trend towards that end of May, beginning of June thing. I don't know if it's like a switch in a financial quarter
You'll be
or
getting
whatever.
Stacey's hopes up. She's there first week of June as well.
And we've just found out that that's when Guardians of the Galaxy is opening, haven't we? The last week in May.
Yeah.
So that's a very... There's lots of other things that have happened historically, that kind of fortnight there, end of May, beginning of June. So I think a lot of people are expecting that. Having said that, there's no rumours that... There's no solid rumours. Everyone's just speculating is what I'm saying.
I realised that we had a lamp on this whole time, but it's been behind the laptop, so it's been absolutely useless.
Oh, please make my skin look less grey and old. I did think I'm not looking glowing today.
You're looking fine, love. Looking fine.
A lot of people are saying last week in May.
Dunn family want to know about merchandise for the podcast. Me and Chris are in talks about a Mango Whip t-shirt. I would like it to be just mango coloured with some white writing on it.
We're also we'll also want to do a t-shirt that says "What's in your tiki cup?" Don't we?
Yeah.
We're going to do a tiki cup one.
Just related to the show, nothing copyright infringing.
Oh, Stacey Jess, remind me when you're going. Oh, first week in June, Stacey Jess. And then she says, my 5-year-old is Marvel mad. I really, fingers crossed, because I think it could be possible. But I also think you're right at the point where I wouldn't relax. And like Chris is going in August. And I'm like, it'll be open by August. I'm fairly confident it'll be open by August. That first week in June, I really hope it is. But then wouldn't you be gutted if it was the week after?
Mark's got some intel. The Cabin de Robinson opens in May 31st, right at the end of May. And Le Mystère de Nautilus reopens May 31st as well.
Check both those out. We always do Le Cabin de Robinson's Treehouse, don't we? Always. And it's a nice between filler attraction. We don't always do Nautilus, but having said that,
get some exercise as well. Lots of steps.
It's open and shut and open and shut. So often it's not open when we're there.
Hyperspace Mountains down, says Mark. First week of June.
Oh, Wits Wonderlust will be there at the same time as Kelfie. This is lovely, guys. This is lovely. Do you know what? We ran this podcast during lockdown for a year and a half, really. And it was just nobody was going. And we were like, we've heard this and this will happen soon. And this is just, it fills my heart with joy.
Give each other the 37 Disney Street secret hand gesture, which is this.
This is why we need badges or stickers making those so that they can identify each other.
Listeners, I was just making nothing with my fingers there. So just yeah, forget it. I said anything. Yeah.
Magical by Sarah says, whatever you vlog, we will enjoy. I just love watching food vlogs, must try items, etc. Maybe I think food's often the way to go.
Yeah, I thought like my next one would just be a food one.
Well, I want to do my 40th birthday one. My 40th birthday, if I haven't already told you, we're going to do a challenge where I have to have a selfie taken with 40 cast members in 40 different costumes. Uniforms, but they call them costumes. And I'm going to give them some pixie dust back for doing it for me. I think I'm going to have some little badges made or something so I can give them something. So I also think that might be a 4-park challenge, although the priority will be to meet the cast members, not to make it into 4 parks, but it might be a good way of getting different uniforms. So I'm going to vlog that as a day. And that's probably going to be, to say I'm meant to be enjoying my 40th birthday, that could be an exhausting, intense day, but I think it would make quite a fun video.
Claire says she's been out for dinner, so sorry she's missed most of the show.
Oh, it's all right, Claire. What did you have?
Been anywhere nice?
Yeah. Was it good? The Dunn family said we spent 3 hours waiting for a soft opening of Star Tours. Then it opened second day. Yay, first one's on. Oh, okay. So you got first. Very good.
You never know how it's going to go down, do you? You can never plan for these things.
We don't know how this Guardians of the Galaxy thing will go down. It's difficult because I suspect Bonnie will be too small for it.
She's had Mexican. One of my favourites.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Should we wrap up?
Shall we then?
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming for this off schedule, rather odd vlog. What am I on about? Podcast that we've just recorded. We will have Christopher back with us next week, and we will be on a Sunday.
Provided he's tested 2 consecutive days with a negative lateral flow test.
Are you with us next Sunday, or are you coming in late?
Ooh, I'll be coming in hot. I'll almost certainly be rehearsing. Shall I check this live on the show?
No. You will find out when you come next week whether or not Hugh is here.
I'm rehearsing at 6:30. I might be back in time.
Cool.
Back in time. Lucky you.
So until then, thank you very much for joining us again, and we will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye, pals.